Right sup, base. Tourney day. Best day of the week. It's open again. It's open. Get in there, people. Get in there. Start it. We're cracking 100 today. I can feel it in my bones. We're cracking 100 again. Want to try your bug team this week? Right on, right on. Exactly here, Stonus. Sucking at something is the first step to getting kind of good at something. As a wiser children's TV show once said. 102! New record! That's a new record. The biggest tournament ever. Biggest tourney ever. Let's go. That's hype. In fact, you know what? It's probably going on YouTube anyway, so let me do my YouTube intro for everyone here. Welcome everyone for joining me on my third prize Monotype tournament. We are already at record-breaking numbers with 107 entries. Let's see how many more we can get. If we can get to like 110, that'd be amazing. We're already breaking records. I'm getting a little bit greedy here. We are sending $30 to first place here. We are sending $10 to second place. Mushamu has won 2 straight in a row. Mushamu, very, very good. Looking undefeatable, in fact. I don't know if they're gonna show up this tournament. Do we see a Mushamu in here? Let's take a little look. MU. No, I think they're stepping out this tournament. They want to distribute the money to everyone. Truly the people's champ. And so that means it's all up for grabs. First seed is anyone's guess. I'm not gonna name it myself. There's been some of the top Monotype already entered, if I can dare say so. So it's really up for grabs. Of course, the policy is bring multiple teams because we can't manage stream sniping very well. You'll probably see it in the chat right now. Sometimes people are going to be watching via the stream. Sometimes people will be doing this and that. We can't completely control it. So bring multiple teams is the solution. You know, we can't control stream sniping perfectly. Mushamu's me. That's right, actually. The whole time I've been playing on my phone. I won everything. Yep, say hi to YouTube. Who will bring it home? Who will win all the marbles? Who will be the champion? It's like wrestling. Who's the newest people's champ? Who's gonna come and take it all? I'm excited to see. Have you ever seen Mushamu and Nathan in the same room? No. And if they were in the same room, it was because it was an alt. 110, let's go. Let's go. So yes, if this is your first Monotype tournament, I ask a couple things of you. First of all, don't take it too seriously. Even if this was an OU tournament, it's a volatile format, but it's a Monotype, which is an extremely volatile format. You can come up against with a really strong type like Mono Steel and still run to Mono Fire round 1 and then like Mono Fighting round 2. It's going to be tough regardless. So don't take it too seriously. And if anything, that relaxing weight of, okay, this is a really tough format should like be a relief to you, because that means you don't have to take it too seriously. All you're doing this is purely from the perspective of I want to learn. Because it's one thing to play in the ladder where like we've all played in the ladder where it's like 3 a.m. and you're like, GG, no re. We've all done that. We've all done those late night streams. How do you add multiple teams? You just every round you queue up with a different team, so you don't have to worry about that. But we've all done the late night laddering, and it's not the same. Entering a tournament where there is some stakes, where there is some skin in the game, where there is the possible prize of $30 whole, it's a different thing entirely. So this is a great format to learn. The stakes, you don't really know how good of a player you are until you're in a serious environment. Sweaty tryhards inbound. I mean, everyone's gonna be tryharding here. That's the point. Is everybody knows how good you are when you're just cruising the ladder. But how big are you when? How good can you be when it's a serious format like this? And so it's easy to self-scout those opportunities. You can be like, okay, you know what? When I'm nervous, when I'm up against the wire, boy, I make terrible double switches. Boy, I really, you know, I do bad calcs. It's easy to learn from those perspectives more than anything else. Save your replay after this no matter what. I want you guys to all, if you're a new player, to save your replays, watch it back at least once and be like, what could I have done better there? Because that's the best way you're going to improve. That's all I care about for you all. 120, come on. This is too big. I love it. I love it. Every week I say, oh man, I'm not gonna upload this to YouTube, but then I go, okay, I gotta upload it to YouTube. It's too good. Okay, honey, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to play. Yo, Iconaki, thank you. But, so if you wanna join, here's what you do. You're gonna play.pokemonshowdown.com/Pokeland, right here. You're gonna enter this room. If you can't do the URL, if you're like in the in-app thing, whatever, you're gonna do this. You are going to go scroll down to the bottom here. At the very, very bottom is going to be join other room. You guys can't see it because the chat's covering up. You're going to type in Pokeland. It's going to enter you into the Pokelands thing. Then, once you're in the Pokeland chat room, there's a big join button. So you just click join and you go blah, or something like that. Easy. So we are at 127 right now. One more and we're actually at the cap for 128. That's a massive tournament. I would love to see it. Okay. So I think we're going to start the tournament right now. 128 on the nose. It's a perfect place to end it. That's the nomination right there. Tour start. Let's go. 128. Let's go, people. Let's go. Get in there. Start your tournament matches. I want to see some fire matches right out of the gates. So let's take a look at this beautiful, beautiful bracket. Oh, look at this. It's insane. And the losers bracket is even more stacked. It's still going. It's still, I can't even scroll. It's such a big one. Look at this losers bracket. This is gonna be the greatest tournament ever. I'm calling it right now. Greatest tournament ever. Okay, so who are we gonna watch round one? I don't even know. It's such a difficult decision to decide who to watch round one. 2 guests off the bat. I love it. Archie versus Infernaps. That's pretty cool. Oh, Big Papa Oof. Let's watch them. We see Monotype versus Monotype. Interesting. So Big Teeny versus Latias. Good lead for both cases. Big Teeny is walled on both ends. However, they should have U-turned. I'm going to predict this might be heavy duty boots. Big Teeny, it's hard to say. Big Teeny could be heavy duty boots. They could be choice scarf. They could be choice banded. Depends what you're looking for in your team. I'd be worried about a scarf one. That confidence on that U-turn suggests to me that it's scarf, but we don't know that. It could be anything. That swap didn't tell Big Papa Oof anything, which is a little bit rough. You only have one team ready, Moldy. I mean, you could also join with one team as long as you're prepared to be possibly counter-teamed much later in the bracket. But because that doesn't really happen lower in the bracket at all. No one has time to be watching their possible opponents' matches. But there's nothing, if you're okay with being counter-teamed, nothing wrong with it. We just present that as a bit of a disclaimer, I guess. Slowbro's gonna come. In comes Jirachi. Seems quite spadeft. Leftovers, yeah, that's gonna confirm that. Rock's gonna go up this turn on the Mew. I guarantee they're gonna exchange hazards right here. Jirachi might U-turn themselves. Actually, the Mew's gonna get a knockoff. That's really helpful. It's not gonna answer the Tapu Lele nearly as well. Very strong Jirachi. Gonna swap out to maybe a Spadef Mew, is maybe that suggests. But I might even go to Big Teeny there. Excuse me. That, given how much damage that did, they go to Latias instead. Knowing taking terrain is up, perhaps going for a Psy Shock or like a Meteor. Slowking Galar gonna come in, nice safe Spadef pivot. Trick instead though. So Latias is now Assault vested, which means it won't be able to Healing Wish, but it'll still be a good pivot, all things told. Take advantage of its good special bulk already, so that works out really well. And then Slowking, Future Sight, good pivot right there, forcing Latias back in. I wonder what Latias has that they're coming in so confident in the Mew. The Will-O-Wisp helps. If they got knocked off, they might not hate it because they bet they have Defog or well, obviously Trick, but they might have a Defog or, man, those knockoffs are doing so much. The point is they might have attacks that they might want to access or moves without the Assault Vest. But for now, they're going to kill Mew. That's very nice. That looked like to be their hazard setter. So no hazards are really going to be up for the whole game for Big Papa Oof, and Lattice is likely the defogger. So that's a big commanding start for them. Rock's going to come back in. It's a little bit low now. No leftovers recovery either. Moonblast again, risking the Iron Head here on a possible U-turn. They wish instead, Planet Safe, maybe Protect. Big Teeny is definitely choice lock. We know that. The question is what? What is this Big Teeny? My guess is Bandit because Latias are normally choice scarfed. That damage suggests to me Bandit, yeah. But it's now ridiculously low health. It's your best breaker, and it's now down to a functional 4% next time they come in on Stealth Rocks. So that's a bit tricky. But Latias is low too. Latias is also an important pivot for this team. Slowking Galar gonna come in on this teleport. That's big, that's big. Got Salt in game 1. There we go. Yo, M. Crossdale, what's up? What is up? Welcome. Slowking coming in on the EQ. EQ's great for Heatran, but you do give up Scald for coverage, which I prefer Scald if I can, but man, you just get totaled by any fire move otherwise. You need to get on the next one, Darth D'Angelo. You do. It's awesome. As I just said, I did a bit of a speech earlier. It's a great way to learn if you're just learning the format. Brachi's health so important. The fact that they have Wish in addition to Leftovers is actually really impactful. I bet we see a U-turn right here. If they do U-turn the Latias, it's a big swing in damage. They Wish instead. They play it safe. I respect it. On a Mystical Fire, though, that's going to hurt. And it's a Life Orb Latias, actually. That's crazy. Maybe Calm Mind? And that's a huge swing as well because their own Latias gets back up to full health. Are they going to risk a speed tie right now? They are, and they're going to win it. Big Papa, oof. With a Big Papa speed tie. Got Mono fighting straight away around one is Dark. That's a rough go. Yep, Latias does get Mystical Fire. It's great coverage if you want to cover like a Ferrothorn or something. True, it lost HP Fire for dealing with Ferrothorn, but Mystical Fire is actually even better because it also reduces special attack. It's good. Slowking going to come in with a threatening of a Sludge Bomb, or will they Future Sight? No, they do Sludge Bomb. Pretty safe so far, but Big Papa Oof has got a commanding lead right now. Sleepyhead's got to make some major breaks right now with their pivots like Lele and Slowking Galar. Slowbro's still at good health, that's important. But yeah, like plays like that are not going to help them at all. You need to stay on top of this. And Victini's at 4% health functionally next time they come in, of course, too. You won a game? Yo, good grief with the big win. Glad to hear it. Likely Slowbro here. So yeah, now Victini's dead. That's huge. I mean, I question the choice of U-turn there personally. You weren't gonna get those rocks off, and yeah, that's gonna be a forfeit there. So Big Papa was gonna advance there. Chris Black missed the tour by 2 minutes. That's too bad. Okay, let's check out the bracket here. How are things shaping up? Let's take a look. Any round 1 winners? Young Sweat Shorts. Let's watch this game. We see Mono Fighting versus Mono Ghost, which is interesting. You would think that Mono Ghost would be really favored, but the presence of Urshifu makes things really tricky. There's not a lot of swap-ins for Urshifu Wicked Blow at all. So I'm going to say this entire game is going to come down to the Urshifu. Not to mention, even beyond that, these are all strong Pokemon with strong secondary stabs. Like Terrakion Stone Edge and Lucario's possible Flash Cannon, Buzzwole. Well, its secondary stab is not so much, but these are all strong Pokemon. Offense versus offense, anything can happen here. But I will say the big swing point is going to be this Urshifu. So let's keep an eye on it right here. Turn 1, Frostlass versus the Buzzwole. Classic HO lead on the Darkest Lariat of all things. That's kind of fun. Looks to be Scarf, except it's an Ice Shard Frostlass. That's crazy. So that in turn, that's a big swing too. So this thing having Darkest Lariat is really rough for Mono Ghost. Sash Blacephalon's going to come in with a Flame Charge. They'll be faster now, be able to get a kill, and so they'll be at +1 speed and +1 special attack functionally. So this is a tough swap in for Young Sweat Shorts here. Toxic Rose did call. Guaranteed they got Sucker Punch. If they don't, were they bluffing? Were they over predicting this turn here? I mean, Urshifu definitely a Sucker Punch, I should hope. They don't. No Sucker Punch this whole team? Is Blacephalon gonna 6-0? There's no way. There's no way it 6-0s. The shirt suits me better than the baggy suit last time. Yeah, it did. I thought it'd be a fun mix-up, but it felt bulky, and it was also it was a warm day, so I didn't love that either. So Blacephalon might just do it. Was there no Sucker Punch here? I mean, they could have gone to Terrakion a little bit earlier probably, but now at this point, special attack is way too high with the Psyshock. It's E-Speed Lucario. That would make sense too, but man, you hate to see it. Sucker Punch on these two would have made a lot more sense. I don't run Sucker Punch on my Toxic Rogue, so I get that one. Fair enough. But Urshifu, maybe if it was a Scarf Shifu and they got outsped, that would actually make sense. I'm gonna ask. Scarf Shifu? Reparked. I started binging my channel last week. It's my first live. Well, welcome. We're in the middle of our big tournament. No Sucker Punch. So it was a banded Shifu, like I suspected. I don't want to dunk on the person here. Oh, no Sucker Punch. Woof. All right, so this one looks pretty over for Young Sweat Shorts. Literal 6-0 by Blacephalon. It was looking rough off the start, but they reversed things well. So let's see. And as a reminder to people just joining us, there is a $40 prize pot. We're talking $30 for first place. Mushamu, the reigning, crowning top seed, is not in this tournament, so it's completely up for grabs. You can get the $30 big prize pot, but also $10 for second place. So a lot to be decided. A lot to be decided here. Let's see, who else have we got? Adjust, that's probably a good one here. Duke PD versus Just Click Bro. Just Click Bro just rinsed me earlier on the bracket, actually. Their Mono Rain team cleaned up my mono fighting. And they're gonna bring mono psychic too. And they're gonna get a taste of little mono water here too. So off the rip, Swampert against Jirachi, good lead. High horsepower, that's cool. High horsepower, I guess, for a mono grass team. Rock's gonna up as well. Love to see the Reuniclus. Big Reuniclus lover on the channel right here, of course. Lantern gonna come in on the Iron Defense. Calm Mind. You want to see a Haze right now, which I don't think Lantern gets to my knowledge. That was not gonna do it there, Duke PD. Are we gonna see a literal Reuniclus 6-0? I will sponsor this sweep right now. They get Scarf Dragovish followed by T-Spike Mono Poison. That's rough. Hate to see it. Wow. This is powerful right here. All of this, powerful. Surging Strikes. They get a full para. They get a full para. That's a Hertz donut. That's a Hertz donut. That's a Hertz donut sweep. Johnny with the first win. Awesome. Awesome. Reuniclus is amazing. We all know it. I know it. I've been spreading the Reuniclus gospel for years at this point. I love to see it. Even though Just Click Bro just swept me on live in front of all of you, I still sponsor this sweep. No, please get the 6-0. Come on, get the 6-0. It's not the same. It's not the same. Having to swap out, it's not the same, is it? So Mono Pug. You're in winners finals. $40 on the line. I gotta load up something good. I gotta show up correct. What am I bringing? Let's do Mono Bug. Why not? Makes sense to me. Why not? Talk about matchups. Buzzswole is so important, as is that Heatran. Swap-ins for the Magma Storm are limited, if not to say scarce. Meanwhile, we see the Buzzswole also has limited swap-ins depending on if they're Earthquake or not. If that Buzzswole is Earthquake in their max speed, they could be a huge, huge threat to Hopefulness's tournament life here. Picklebolt coming in. I talked about this when I did the Mono Bug lives. So much is going to come down to whether they get the sticky webs and whether they can maintain them. Because, you know what? Buzzswole without sticky web support, it's okay. It's pretty strong, pretty fast sweeper. With sticky web support, good grief. It's incredible. So I'm expecting to see webs up turn 1. However, they're probably going to be running a quick calc like, wait, do I die to a double iron bash right now? Sticky Web's going to go up on the Extra Drill threatening an immediate rapid spin. These things are often Scarf on these teams, but looks like that's not the case if they're threatening a Toxic turn 1. They even get the Spadef drop here. And I didn't mention this even yet, but Mono Steel, of course, resists Bug. So it's a really advantage matchup here. Ferrothorn going to come in on the next Energy Ball. That's exactly the case. Probably going for Spikes, maybe a Leech Seed. Even a Gyro Ball is in contention. I'm going to predict Spikes turn 1 because controlling hazards are going to be a big facet to limiting Roxy's swaps. I always say swatches because it's swap and switch put together. So limiting Roxy's swatches. Volt switching out. Are we going to see I was going to say a Volcarona swap here? No, Leech is going to be making an appearance instead. Even a Heracross would have been pretty powerful in that situation. We should mention not just 1, 2 bug fighting types. So that's, if you wanted to be prepared for Mono Steel, this is the team for it. With those webs up, it's going to be really, really hard to answer these multiple fighting type attackers because they're just so strong. You know, Heracross with Flame Orb up is like near impossible to deal with here. Ferrothorn does get the Leech Seed. I'm surprised to see the Arachnid swap. Maybe it's that rest set trying to trap the Ferrothorn and slowly chip them down. But if you can't tox the Ferrothorn, that's not really going to work out for you. This is the winners finals there, Chronic Math. Let me just update the music here. Here we go. This is some winners final music right here. Heracross coming in on the spikes. Looks like there's Scarf. I'm going to predict if you're not Flame Orb, in my opinion, you should be Scarf because you're giving up a ton of offensive prowess by giving up that Guts Flame Orb. And Heracross wins Scarf very well. It pairs with that Moxie boost. You get one, you get the next. We're going to see a double switch maybe to the Aegislash with the Celesteela. Celesteela was the Buzzwole what they really wanted there, though, because you're threatening an Air Slash, which is 4 times effective. You're threatening a Flamethrower, which is still quite effective in its own right. I'd be curious to see what Roxy was looking for with that double switch there. But Vikavolt will come in on the Leech Seed, threatening an immediate Thunderbolt. They go to their Extra. They go for another double switch here on the Protect. That's going to work just fine. Heatran's going to come in. Great answer to Volcarona. Volcarona can't really do much here at all. Toxic from Heat Rain, an obvious threat. There is the threat of Substitute from Volcarona, but if Volcarona Substitute, that means they're almost certainly running Psychic and a Fire move, which is not breaking Heat Rain anytime soon. So Substitute almost seems like, why bother? You could also go to like your Vikavolt, which is already toxic in this situation. You could bet on the Heat Rain not being Earth Power, which Vikavolt kind of covers with his Levitate typing too. So it's tough. Goose of Beverly, what a great username. What's the other monotype? It is Steel. So Steel versus Bug. So I'm curious to see what Roxy's doing right here. Even if they had a specific move to beat Heatran, it's gonna be pretty hard to get to win this matchup 1v1. Heatran is specifically countered for this reason. You don't want to auto lose to any mono bug or mono fire team because Volcarona is spoilers on every mono bug and every fire team. It's just a tough one to deal with. Xbox aim assist, thank you, thank you. Literal Steel or 6 buggy boys, we'll see, we'll see. They do swap out, as I kind of suspected there, on the Toxic. Kind of predictable. I might have done Vikavolt there because it's already Toxic. Great, it's not doing too much either to Heatran because while it does have high special attack, Heatran's got ridiculous def and it's getting lava plumed afterwards. It's a little bit rough. Do I ever participate in these tournaments or just commentate? I prefer to just commentate. It's more fun that way for me. And Ferrothorn going to come in again here. Not the matchup they're looking for. Roxy's really having a hard time getting things going right now. We do see the rest on a rack when it is a trap rest set, it looks like. So they're hoping to get trapped a non-steel type, which is obviously not going to happen here. But they do still have the Ferrothorn trapped infestation, doing 12% chip every turn. And they figure, as long as I've got rest, I can not die to Ferrothorn here. I am giving up a full layer of spikes. I am giving up Bleach Seed and all that stuff. But I don't think they're winning this matchup 1v1. Except they soak. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so now they can Toxic the Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn's going to be trapped by a Ragdoll and die, essentially. Protect. That's big. Static Safari. That is hateful vitriol and lie. Toxic misses on that turn. Ragdoll's got to rest here. No. Oh, no. Ferrothorn's going for double protect here, I guarantee. Except the infestation ends. And they get a swap out on the Aegislashes. Will be able to defeat the Arachnoid, I guarantee. Wow. That was a crazy swing for the match. And Roxy was already kind of down bad on the substitute. We can see another Toxic right here. Volcarona can't really afford to swap out. Oh, no. Things have taken a turn from buggy a bit. It was a sticky situation before, but now it's gotten just straight up bad. Straight up bad. Volcarona's hit. Volcarona bad cat is down catastrophic here. It's possible. I'm not gonna say it's not possible. As long as you get your Buzzwole. Buzzwole is your win condition at this point because it seems like the Heracross is choice locked. You gotta have Earthquake right here. You have to have Earthquake. But even then, Hopefulness is going to the Celesteal here every time. Oh, it's too bad. Yeah, Monobug often doesn't have hazard removal, sadly, and they don't want to lose their own webs. So if this is a Flame Orb Heracross, it'd be worse because you're not getting those Moxie sweeps going, but it's rough. Bulk up on the Flamethrower. So if Drain Punch gets you like 30% back per turn, it's doable, but damage to get back, 20% not going to cut it really. They need like a crit. It's a crit or bust. Yeah, that's exactly it, Static Safari. It's just a really, really hard one to match up against. Rough go of it for Roxy here, that's for sure, but... So no GG from Roxy says, okay, bro. I don't like to see that. In my tournaments, in Nathan's tournaments, you brought Monobug to winners finals. That's gonna happen. I'm gonna say lame salt. Come on. This is all supposed to be in good spirits here. I dislike that. So, Psychic versus Psychic. Controlling electric terrain becomes less essential. Zapdos, less essential than it would be otherwise. Rotom Wash, less essential as it would be otherwise. Really? The health of your electric absorber is going to be really helpful because Regieleki can put in a lot of work given the opportunity. unless there's Zero Auras die or something. I was at 295 of 300 goal. I actually don't have enough active sub goal right now. I should fix that at some point. Did I say Psychic versus Psychic? My bad. Words are hard, everyone. Words are hard. Electric versus Electric is what I meant. What kind of idiot would think this is Psychic versus Psychic? I don't know. Is that a spec Zapdos? It seems to be a defensive Zapdos. But I don't know. It took a lot from the Dazzling Gleam. Words are hard, everyone. Cut me some slack. Might make it look very difficult. It is an SS moment, though. But yeah, 5 subs away from 300. You can hit tonight, gang. That'd be Pog. Burn the Nathan. Have I ever beat Big Papa Oof? Yes, we were playing some just friendlies on stream, and I think I won 1, maybe 2, but that might be giving myself too much credit there. They were in a lot of mono flying, which is a tough one to crack, even with an advantage matchup. Like, I think that mono electric's not even that bad. Oh, that's a huge swing. That's a huge swing. So they body press looking for a swap there. Do you go for a second? Oh, I don't know. Big Papa Oof says I won once. That's fair. Darth Foe. That's kind of asking for it, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's 300. 300 subs. That's hype as hell. Thank you guys so much. That's awesome. These tournaments aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I'll keep with the prize pots too. I don't know if they'll be 40 every week. The $40 only because Mushamu was deferring. Thank you so much, Darth Bo. That's hype. 300. Talk about this game for a second here. Rotom comes in on Rotom. Takes the Toxic. Again, Rotom's not so essential because it's not an electrical resist. It's kind of neutral. Do I have figurative money on who I think wins this tour? I don't know. I forget their name. Whoever's in winners finals is looking really good. Not a very interesting pick, but it would be surprising if Hopefulness did not win. But like we saw Mushamu win multiple games from the losers bracket, but that's really, really hard to do in Monotype. I think it's one of the hardest things to do it in. Zero Aura not killing does matter. Its health is important. Zero Aura be Zero Aura. So you're forced to swap out right now. Zero's gonna get a free knockoff right now. Coco's losing his specs. You're not gonna be able to break as effectively because Dazzling Gleam is excellent versus this whole team right here. No resist actually in the whole team with Mega Stone dead. So Tapu Koko losing their Dazzling Gleam is respects Dazzling Gleam is very important. We're gonna come in kind of baiting in a Raichu Alola, maybe even Zapdos. We haven't seen that Zapdos is set. Oh no, it seems to be defensive set. Never mind. Coco coming in though, threatening a Volt Switch or Dazzling Gleam. I'm gonna bet because there's no Dazzling Gleam answer on this team either. Is that specs damage? Must be full Spadef Rotom Wash. Because it shrugged that off. That's probably... Ooh. Raichu Alola makes sense. Psychic here. No Psychic resist either. Besides Raichu Alola. You could even knock off if you're feeling a little bit psycho, expecting that Raichu Alola swap. Rising Bolt is going to be a good damage too. Psyshock is huge there. Probably a second one here on Raichu Alola. Okay, it's Speed Tie now. They can both run knockoff. It's more and more common nowadays. They're going to swap out, though, defensively to the Regieleki and the Zero Aura. Zero Aura is definitely going to win that double switch off. Probably going to see a swap into... Oh, okay. Okay. I would have kept my Regieleki. I don't know. Coco's going to get a free swap in. Spadef dropped. So it's kind of mitigating the loss of choice specs here. Dazzling Gleam, I think, will kill. Zapdos going to go out here. 2 KO at least. There we go. So that's probably Raichu with that Surge Surfer Life Orb, I'm going to guess. Who do you swap to there? Maybe a Zapdos sack? Maybe go to your Raichu Alola if you're feeling ballsy. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think I zap Zapdos and then I go to my... Oh, I don't know. I think I go for the Speed Time, maybe. This is anyone's game, actually. The funny thing about that last game, Bowl Cuts, is also great username. The funny thing about that last game was that it was like, it was offense versus offense. Everyone, they kept like starting to go for a setup sweep. Like they're about to go for a setup sweep, and then they would just swap out. Like, I'm gonna get one bulk up, swap out. And I get why. Obviously. They wanted to get the prime matchup there. But they did that so often when they go for one setup and they swap out. One setup, swap out. One setup, swap out. That Mulch Skull went from 40% health to like 95% health. So it was weird because they were offensive teams, obviously. They were looking for setup sweeps, but they just couldn't get their offense going. It was weird. Raichu Lola does come in. It took a long time about that, but I think that was the best play. The question is if you want to avoid a Raichu Lola swap in. Rotom's a safe sack, actually. I like that better than my suggestion of Zapdos for sure. I like that a lot because Zapdos can still be very good versus Zeraora here. Have I ever considered doing a Nuzlocke? I did a Nuzlocke of Sword and Shield that I'm not going to say it went terribly, but I thought it would go way better, if I'm being honest. Zeraora is going to come in. I think they might die to... I don't know. I don't know what my head calc is here. Whether Raichu can kill right now. I don't know. Knockoff would obviously kill from Zeraora. There you go. That's huge. They really needed that. But Zeraora versus Zeraora here. Knockoff gonna kill. Is that it? Tapu Koko coming in on a... What do you click here? Your Tapu Koko... I think this is still specs, so I think he can kill Zapdos here. So I think you just go for Chip and go for like Plasma Fist, I guess. What's your last move here? Probably bulk up. So I think you go for Plasma Fist right here and then try to win with your own Koko, which it's 50-50. I think this game comes down to 50-50 right now. This is crazy. So I think, yeah, Zeraora is going to get some Chip right now, unless they crit like the Plasma Fist. This is it. The whole game. Who is going to get to play in the next round? Is this loser semis even? What a shocking match indeed. This is to enter loser semis too. This is big. What format's the next tour? Next one's definitely going to be Monotype. I'm not sure the week after that, but next one at least is definitely Monotype for sure. Yeah, the community is crazy. They have to knock off. Why not Plasma Fist? Wouldn't Plasma Fist be way more damage? It would also cover the right the Zapdos swap in. They win the speed tie. That's that. GG to Kokusei. That was crazy. Because they lost the Raichu Alola speed tie. That was crazy. It's Ban Zeraora, not bulk up. Oh, that makes sense. That's crazy too in its own right. Wow. We've waited this long. The finals are always heat. I gotta say, if you've joined us for this long, it's been a fun tournament so far. We wrap in the losers bracket. We kind of chill and lay low until we reach this point of losers finals. But every tournament we posted without fail has been extremely hyped from this point onwards. So I'm most excited for this point because the stakes are so high. For $10, let's go. So we see Mono Flying from Kev versus Mono Ground. Again, I would say just a pure type-wise level, Mono Flying is advantaged here. Obviously, they resist the ground type attacks. I think that's no one would argue that. However, there's lots that Mono Ground has for Mono Flying. Mono Flying is a ridiculously common typing on the Monotype ladder. You got to be prepared for that. And I bet Kokusei's got some tricks up their sleeves. Let's see what they've got. I'm not counting them out at all here. Nidoking gonna lead after the Landorus. If it's a Scarf Landorus, you gotta swap out. But if you're max speed... Oh, no, you're outsped anyways. Okay, so they're probably both Scarf there is what that tells me. So that was a Scarf Nidoking going for an Ice Beam, but they were outsped by the Landorus. So turn one, awful play. I'm not like that. I'm not saying awful decision, but that's an awful result of the turn one there. There's a Gravity Landorus. No swap in anymore. Earthquake is hitting everybody. Landorus at +1 right now. But Landorus is returning the favor there. They say, fine, you're not the Earthquake immune either here. They're doing this all to set up the Sand Rush of Powdon. Sand Rush is you're gonna be hit with the eject button. Swap out to your Choice Span Excadrill. Now we're in the Thunderdome for a turn. Who's taking this EQ? You're taking it? Boom. That's how it works. It's a very cool system. But Lando's low now. They need to set up another Gravity at some point later on. So that's the trick up their sleeve primarily looks like. The Scarf Nuking being out is rough. Let's not lie about it. They played for that speed tie to see if it was choice locked. They didn't quite come out on top. Garchomp is going to threaten a Stone Edge here. I'm going to guess Rocky Helmet, perhaps. Maybe even Dragonite Scale Shot. You never know. No, because they can't run all those moves. I'm curious what this Garchomp set is. Maybe it's this Scarf or two. Ooh. Stone Edge on Garchomp intrigues me. Obviously very useful. Just took out Tornadus. That's huge. But they're not going to be able to take this Corviknight. They swapped to the Excadrill instead, actually, on the U-turn. That's going to be Landorus here. Now, what do you click? Do you go to Landorus on an Earthquake? Do you threaten the U-turn? We're going to see the U-turn. Okay, so Kev is still up on top here. Dragonite coming in. Do you Gravity here? Give Dragonite a free Swords Dance. So we go back to Landorus, expecting a Gravity here. Except they're going to U-turn themselves. So they keep up the momentum right now. Garchomp going to come in. Maybe is this Scarf Garchomp? Multiple Scarf uses, perhaps? Maybe. That would explain the Stone Edge. Multiple Scarf users would make sense. Lando coming in on a possible U-turn. Okay, Dragonite comes back in. They're running the same situation. We ran this 50-50 once, old man. How many times I got to teach you this lesson? Multi-scale broken. That's a big swing. We're going to see maybe Gastrodon come in with a Toxic. Hippowdon instead. It'll be able to walk quite well. Perhaps some late Rocks. Rocks, it's never too late for Rocks, in my opinion. Well, sometimes it's too late for Rocks, but in this case, it's not too late. Corviknight threatening a Defog of their own, which would allow a free turn for Landorus to go for a Gravity if they go for a Defog right now. We got an Excadrill, though. Interesting. It is a banded Excadrill, so yeah, this Rock Slide's hitting pretty hard. Wanted to flinch there, not going to get it. So again, if you think you get a free turn, you could go to Lando and go for a Gravity, but the plan is safe. There's one flinch that helps. Do we see a second? We see a miss, quite the contrary. Oh, and they do reveal the Body Press. That's no good. Flinch here would be a big game changer. No such luck. Lando going to come right back in. Now, do you go to Lando on the U-turn? You probably U-turn here regardless. So Hippowdon's a good, safe play there. That's going to let in, I guess, Corviknight for the Roost. Do you EQ on the Roost? Tricky turns, tricky turns. Do you EQ? That would help. It's nothing perfect. And the crit, not going to matter because it recovers too much, it looks like. Unless. We see another crit. Can we get another crit? For the people, the crit! The second crit! I told you these finals are crazy. Oh my god. The craziest double crit. Okay, that opens shit up. That opens shit up. Scarf Garchomp, looking kind of mean. Multiscale, gone. Landorus, low health, outsped. Zapdos probably living it here, but you still get your own Landorus here. There's a lot of tools here. You want to keep that Hippowdon safe though, because the Sandstorm's about to end. And I hate to break it to you, gang, but choice banded Rock Slide Excadrill in with the Rock Slide in the Sand Rush. Super threatening at this point. Now that Corviknight died to the double crit. Literal anime protagonist shit right there. They're thinking about it. I am probably... So here's the thing. If the Gastrodon has Toxic, I think you go to it here no matter what. IMO. You don't risk the Landorus dying. It's still pretty useful. If Gastrodon gets 2-hit KO'd by Earthquake, fine, whatever. What you don't want is Dragonite setting up on you for free. So, static, that's for jokes. So what you don't want is Landorus U-turning to the Dragonite setting up for free, because that's how you lose a game right there, right? In fact, a +1 Dragonite wins the game. Yeah. Actually, it might win anyways. We might be popping off way too early, because you actually... Oh, okay, here's the thing. The only way you don't lose to +1 Dragonite is with this Hippowdon. If it can get off a slack off. So if you think this Landorus is going to U-turn into Dragonite for a setup, you got to stay in and match that slack off. However, if you think they're going to Earthquake, you go to your Landorus. They superpower. Covers both. Garchomp coming in. Wait, the Gastrodon was also eject button? Oh my god. The Gastrodon was also eject button. So Garchomp comes in to miss the Scale Shot. Oh my god. Okay, so that's gotta be Astrodon here, but took 50% from the first superpower. What do you do? No, but its attack is too lowered. Yes. Get a free Scald here. Free Scald on the Zapdos. That's fine. This Dragonite is terrifying now, though. Oh no. That might be it. We had a fun run. Oh, toxic to boot. Oh no. So we were threatened about that Dragonite. We need to slack off on Hippowdon to win. If it's got Whirlwind here, which I'm gonna guess it does if the Gastrodon is toxic, they're probably gonna click it right now. On the Lando, they run. What kind of disrespectful ass Stealth Rocks was that here? What the hell? Psycho shit. So I'm not gonna that Scale Shot didn't matter, but obviously Kukusei can't complain about luck there. Lando double switching to the Zapdos here. Probably outspeeding Zapdos, so he could go for a Gravity maybe, but maybe not if they don't outspeed. If they swap out there, it seems a pretty defensive play there. They not have Whirlwinds maybe? I don't know. They EQ here, they're cracked. Okay. I'm gonna say it's looking pretty over. It was in the realm of possibility, which was hype. Gastrodon's not breaking the Zapdos anytime soon. Their play honestly seems to be PP stalling the Zapdos at this point, which with Thunderbolts, good luck. But it's doable. It's actually doable. They could actually successfully PP stall the Zapdos. Zapdos is walled. They're both toxic. They can just swap in on low toxic damage turns. Click that Roost. They've got lots of PP. Actually, yeah, extra drill walls. They just feel extra drill walls. We all realize it's way too late. Wait, you don't want to get parried here, extra drill. Yeah, extra drill walls here. Okay. It loses all its PP as well. I guess that's why they kept Rock Slide. So Lando dies to rocks at this point. D-Knight is 2-hit KO'd, but they have E-Speed as a threat. Lando comes in. They're probably going to U-turn here. So yeah, Extra can't really break with their remaining PP. But it's burning through their Zapdos' PP too. So this is a fine play. This is a really interesting endgame. I've never seen an endgame like this. So if you're in a PP stall position, pressure from Zapdos doubles the amount of PP burned from your opponent. So it is very advantageous for the Zapdos. But I think unless I'm mistaken, this Hippowdon will be able to do it just fine. Like you just swap in, you take very low damage from all this stuff. They're going to keep up Sandstorm as much as they can too. So the Zapdos is repeatedly taking damage and, well, it really doesn't matter as long as Leftovers is around. So yeah, kind of does. I don't know. All right. So grand finals. Let's get the music pumping again here. We've all been waiting for this. Mono flying versus mono fighting. Oh, hopefulness. That's a tough pull. I think someone asked me earlier in the stream what I think the worst matchup is across all of Monotype. This might be one of them. This might be one of the worst ones you can run into here. Big matchups to watch out for is going to be the health of Landorus. It's going to be the health of the Zapdos Galar, who can sweep all these guys with Brave Bird if it's Scarf, which they often are. Cobalion going to lead. Cobalion definitely want these rocks up turn one. Oh god, I just lost the earbud in my ear. Ah, I do that so often nowadays. Rocks go versus Landorus here. Threatening EQ. Zapdos Galar going to come in instead on the EQ. They get to drop whatever they want here. They go for close combat. Looks like that Landorus isn't choice locked, it looks like. Let's see. The U-turn out. Pretty safe play. Tornado's going to come in instead, threatening a big Hurricane as Cobalion comes in on the Defog instead. So we're going to keep those rocks up. I guarantee we see Stealth Rocks right here, except Tornado's going to taunt. So that guarantee was false from me. So probably a Volt Switch then on a Hurricane. Quite a bit of damage. Cobalion's got great Fizz Def, but not the best Spadef. So Cobalion out. That's got to be Terrakion, maybe Scarf. We're going to double switch to beat the Skarmory. Great play. Possible Thunderous Kick or Close Combat. Blaze Kick even better. They're taking a lot from Monkey Helmet there. Spikes are up to boot. That's not great. Tornado's coming in, only taking about 40% here, I'm going to guess. That's exactly the case. Your swap-ins are very limited. This is a very big Hurricane attacker. Terracion's neutral, but they can get confused. They don't. Another double switch on that Skarmory, except they get the Landorus, so it's going to do the Defiant boost here. That's huge. Let's go to Zapdos as they go to... Okay, yeah, they get the close combat here. They're taking out just about anyone at that point. So Skarmory being out is huge, because that means that Terrakion can pop off with the Stone Edge. It's likely a Scarf Terrakion, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the Terrakion is, because it could also be a Scarf Zapdos. It's always up in the air. Croco's out. Hopefully this is... They've done well. They've chipped the Landorus. They've chipped the Skarmory. They need this Landorus out, and they can possibly do it. It is Scarf according to Hungry Hippo here. Can we get a hit here? There we go. They're in it. They're in it. Zapdos Claw is going to come in. They are probably also Scarf, and they are neutral to the Stone Edge here. So you go to... Like, someone's going to die right now. You got to look at your sacks right now, because the Terrakion's the only way you're winning this game at this point. Urshifu can also do some work with that Sucker Punch. Zapdos is still very useful. I'm thinking it might be Keldeo for a sack right now. That's what I'm thinking. Keldeo is going to come in the sack. Everyone else is pretty useful at this point. Brave Bird, sure enough. And it's also useful chip to Zapdos. That's a good thing. Them being forced to Brave Bird and take the recoil is helpful. Terrakion comes back in. Not going to kill. They're setting the stage for their own Zapdos, I guess. They have multiple Scarfers. Shifu comes in. They can now kill with Sucker Punch. That's great. Zapdos is choice locked, so they're forced to do that. Probably Tornadus. Yeah, you can't really kill with Wicked Blow at this range. You need a Hurricane Miss. Yeah, Hopefulness calls out in chat. You need a Hurricane Miss. No Hurricane Misses all game for the record. Kokusei built differently. Zapdos going to come in. Kokusei doesn't miss. You guys should know that. Like, Kokusei just built different. They don't miss these Hurricanes. That's just a given. So Grand Final set 2. We've been seeing so many set 2s. But bringing Mono Fighting in the finals, definitely risky. Definitely risky. Let's see. They got a chance to counterpick here. Mono Flying. Personally, if I am Kokusei, I am not switching off Flying. It's safe to even everything. Even if you get, like, you know, Mono Ice, you can still handle it just fine. CJKV, he got smoked there. I mean, that's one of the roughest matchups in my opinion. Fighting does have the tools to do it. They played it very well. They slowly wore down the counters like Skarmory and Landorus. And they had a shot there. Like, maybe if they gotten like a top roll on that Zapdos Galar and that Stone Edge had killed, maybe we're talking about this game as a 1 game for them. But that's, I think that's definitely one of the worst ones now. Static, either can switch their type. Either can switch their type if they want to. Electric time. I don't love Electric versus Mono Flying either, but it's definitely a solid one for sure. Mono Dragon, I think, is actually not bad because you have Kyurem. Mono Dark, you can do it as long as you have a Weavile on your team with a balanced Mono Weavile team. You could even not bring a Zarude and bring like a Mono Dark with a... Or no, what would I bring there? Best 2 of 3? No, Static. Just the way it works is that there's a winner's bracket and there's a loser's bracket. So you have to lose twice to be eliminated from this tournament so far. So Hopefulness made it this far into the grand finals just by not losing a single tournament set. So they had to lose twice in order to lose a tournament. So it's a lopsided grand final. It's just the nature of things because the fact is they were just better over the course of this tournament. They didn't lose any games. So they get the advantage. Here we go, everyone. Grand finals of the biggest tournament we've ever held, both in prize pot and attendance and in hype. I'm going to say it. Mono Electric, they bring the counter pick for... Wait, no, Kokusei... Wait, Kokusei played Flying, so they bring Electric. They're going to get the Mono Steel. This is an interesting one. Electric is very offensive. They don't have the same tools to last up these longer games. A lot, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to come down to the Zapdos versus this Ferrothorn right now. I almost always run these teams with a choice spec Zapdos, specifically because I want to break Ferrothorn. Extra can also be broken by a Heat Wave from a spec Zapdos. Extra is actually less threatening than you think. I think Extra is like the true threat in these teams. Zapdos comes in right now, so if it's choice specs, we're going to find out right now. If it's, especially if you have a Rotom, because Rotom can be a defogger, there's no reason not to have a spec Zapdos. I don't know about that calc. That might not be specs damage, which I don't love. Can players also switch teams in between rounds? Yeah, they can. So hopefully this brought Mono Steel extremely safe. They want to match up well versus Mono Flying. Whereas Kokusei brought Mono Electric, very aggressive. Rising Voltage, you can go to Extra Drill here, but then on the follow-up turn, you can go for a Focus Blast. So I would not be surprised to see Kokusei go for a Focus Blast this turn, which would cover Heat Ren staying in addition to Extra Drill swapping in. But it's also a little bit unsafe because I think Heat Ren might live a Focus Blast from this range. Maybe able to return fire with an Earth Power. It's Specs, the Raichu Alola, or the Zapdos. Yeah, I couldn't tell from that damage on this Volt Switch right here. According to Hippo, it is Specs. Let's take a quick little look on our own. Zapdos. I can't find it. Versus Heatran. Volt Switch. 252. Yeah, looks like it's definitely Specs. Okay, so that's really important because, as I said, Ferrothorn is a huge problem for you otherwise. Rotom refuses to Hydro Pump on the Heatran, so it's going to go a free Toxic or Stealth Rocks right here. There it is. Probably a Volt Switch here because this is also a tricky matchup for Zapdos to deal with. We see the Protect. Close Combat, a definite threat. You can also knock off on the possible Aegislash. Huge prediction from Kokusei. Big. It's a 2-hit KO on Aegislash now. On the King Shield, that's not going to matter. I think this will still 2-hit KO unless I'm mistaken. -1, so it's half as effective because the knockoff loses 50% of its damage after the item has successfully been knocked off. But also the King Shield proc there. There was leftovers on Ferrothorn. Very big too. So swap-ins here. Magnezone is also a possibility there. They go to Extra predicting the Magnezone, so that Zapdos play is even safer now. Heat Wave is a definite threat, so do you go to Heat Ren on a possible Heat Wave? Do you go to Ferrothorn on a possible Volt Switch? Do you stay in on a Volt Switch? Do you look out for a Hurricane? They get the play right. Whatever the play was, that was it. So Heat Ren up to full health. Big Flash Fire Magma Storm coming out right now. Or Toxic, even better on the Rotom. Good prediction on their part. Do you Hydro Pump here? Yeah, you're forced to do this right now. You Hydro Pump, risking a Ferrothorn swap in and taking more Toxic damage. Wow, this Heatran has got balls of steel. It is not going anywhere. Heatran be staying in. On the left, this could burn, this could burn. Oh. My man down catastrophic with that play. Heatran is tough to break now. You gotta get some major chip on this thing. Heatran, they have not gotten a play right except for that one. Finally, some chip on Heatran is pivotal right there. And now I believe it gets 2-hit KO by Hurricane. I could be totally off on that, but I think it's like 30% on Heatran, so you're in a range. Coco gonna come in on another Volt Switch. Heatran's up to 64% now. It's not looking good after the next one. They swap out Raw on the Extra, but it's ballooned, so you're okay. You can go for a body press here. Rock Slide misses. To get the Magnet Rise off free. Iron Defense, maybe? So that miss didn't really matter so much, I'm going to say. Because the Magnet Rise was coming out regardless. So now this Magnet Zone is going to be at max defense. It looks like this is a choice-locked Excadrill, so it's not doing anything to this Magnet Zone. So the swap in afterwards is going to have to be Heatran. Definitely Heatran. Because Celesteela won't be able to do too much. What is this? What is this Excadrill right now? Crazy. Why Magnet Rise Balloon? So you can get off the Magnet Rise without getting EQ'd first. So they didn't even need Magnet Rise because it looked like it was choice locked. But that's going to be Heatran from there. Heatran continues to terrorize Kokusei right now. Probably, I mean, no, it's got to be Heatran. Can't break. Breaks not very effectively. Breaks not very effectively. It's got to be Heatran. Heatran, if it's max Spadef, it could get outsped and get body pressed. We don't know. I think it might be max Spadef given from the damage took from Zapdos. But they're going to swap out. Okay. I'm guessing they calced it, but that's interesting that they swapped out there because even by our calc, I thought that had to be max Spadef Heatran, in which case 190 versus oops, I got all my tabs mixed up. Versus a Magnezone, a little bit odd. Ferrothorn coming on this Thunderbolt though. Zapdos is real low, no Roost recovery here. Our defense there on the Ferrothorn, we get another trap there. Except they get caught in a leech seed. So I think, oh, power up missing. That might actually matter a little bit. No protect on the Ferrothorn, maybe? Oh, there it is. They're just power. They're protecting really late. We get a double protect. I don't think it'll matter. They'll get this hit off regardless. 95. Be interesting to see what kind of roll that was. So Ferrothorn, we talked about as a massive, massive matchup. That really, really clears the runway for the Specs Coco and the Specs Sprite to Alola to pop off. Because Heatran is probably getting 2 at KO by Rising Voltage. Aegislash is getting O-Code. O-Code, O-Code. That could be the swing right there. Trapping that Magnezone and killing it. That could be the swing. If I'm Kokosei, I want chip on this Heatran no matter what. Yeah. I don't care. I take my toxic damage. I want to swap right now. Aegislash going down. Hopefulness also recognizes it. This is for the whole tournament, by the way. $30 on the line right now. They also recognize that Heatran, their health is so important. They stall. They get the recovery. They sack the Aegislash. They think if I'm winning this game, it is off my Heatran's back. I got to keep it healthy. Defog, they're looking for the Defog to keep the Raichu and the Tapu Koko healthy. We're going to get it off. As Celesteal goes for Leech Seed. Okay, going to stay healthy there. Probably Protect. I would just go straight to my Koko here. Yeah, on the Protect. Do we see a Heavy Slam predicting that? Leech Seed, also predicting it, but they missed the Leech Seed. This is a big Volt Switch. It's going to be... Oh, or a Thunderbolt. Even better. I don't think it's a 2-hit KO on Heatran, but it might be close. It might be close. Melmetal, I think it might die here too. I think this is looking very bad. As soon as that Ferrothorn was out, it's not looking good anymore. So you Volt Switch here. No, they don't Thunderbolt. They just swap it to the Rotom, taking the double Iron Bash easily. Hydro Pump here is going to murk either one of these. MC Brax, welcome. They Volt Switch instead. Sack the Zapdos. I guess that works. Get the full pair. I don't think it really matters. Or the regular pair, you know what I mean? Koko coming in. I guess they needed a roll. They needed about 75%, I guess. Except they don't. Yeah, okay. Thunderbolt would have killed there. They're playing it real safe. No harm with that. But I really doubt that Heatran can last a Specs Volt Switch or Specs Thunderbolt, Specs Rising Voltage. Looks like Kokosei is our tournament winner. What is going on with people winning from the losers bracket? That's crazy impressive. Crazy impressive. That is that. Wow. Go to Rotom Wash on this turn just cuz. But they're giving more leftovers turns, I guess. I guess they want to refresh the electric terrain. That works too. Rotom going to die here, but they're going to wait to get their electric terrain back up. Koko comes in with Thunderbolt. Heat runs at 20%. Raichu only needs about 70, 80 to kill with the Rising Voltage. So that is that. That is crazy. What a run. GG to Kokosei. Impressive tournament one. I love to see it won from the losers finals. Very cool. We had an eventful tournament. 128 entered. Only one will leave. Hopefulness wins the $10. Kokosei wins the 30. To be clear, for the YouTube VOD's sake, next Monday I'm hosting the same tournament. I'm hoping to have the tournament keep gaining momentum as we go on further and further. I want to see more people join next week. If you're a newcomer, don't see these top level players and get threatened, because there's still the primary objective of this tournament is for you to learn, have fun. Maybe you go, okay, this matchup I gotta learn. Maybe I gotta learn this or that. What time, Potato Theory? 9 p.m. EST every Monday. You can book it. Want to see you guys here. The more the merrier. Completely free entry. There's no reason not to join. You can join. If you're worried about like whatever, clout or whatever, make an alt. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have a registered alt or anything like that to win, to enter. Sorry. And yeah, just have fun. Enter the tournament. See how deep you can go. Have a chance to go into the money. We had some people who went really deep into the tournament and did better. I can't promise $40 for next week. The $40 prize pot this week was mostly due to Mushamu deferring the prize pot for several weeks. Shout out to them. Absolute GOAT. But I'll at least offer 10 or 20 bucks. I'll announce it on my socials and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Be sure to join next week. I want to see you all here. And for the YouTube VOD's sake, see you next time.